owner of She's a Warrior, and today we are going to talk about how to make lasting changes in 1 month without diets or extreme exercise. This is where you can start taking control over your health without any expensive programs, nobody breathing down your neck to make sure you're doing it, but you can take control now, and you can get results in 1 month by following this video, okay? So I have been tracking my habits on and off for the past couple of years, but when I went through a brief stint of not tracking habits, I didn't do a very good job of building them either. So something about this process of checking off habit each day and keeping a log of my process really improves my motivation and ability to complete that habit each day. So we're gonna get to how to track everything in your life without completely going crazy. Now, I know you're super busy. I am too. We got the horses and cows and a job and a family and people that need you to do things here and there and everywhere. So I'm gonna teach you how to do this without going completely crazy and without feeling like it is one more thing on your to-do list that you just really don't want to do. So over time, I have tracked habits like drinking water or how many books I'm going to read. Everything from those to more mundane habits like waking up early and planning for tomorrow before I go to bed. Easily, the most rewarding thing about tracking habits is when I can stop tracking, because the behavior really has become so automatic. That is a sign of a strong habit. So I don't even think about drinking water now, okay? 3 years ago, I struggled to fit that in every day, but tracking it helped me to build it into a regular part of my routine. So the question is, what habits should you track? Now, from my own experience and a lot of research that I've done, I've learned some of the pitfalls of building new habits. I've also learned what sets me up for success when choosing a new habit to track. So when you choose a new habit to track, consider these 3 aspects, okay? Number 1 is motivation. Choose a habit you care about doing regularly. Don't worry about whether other people think it's important, just that you want to do it, okay? That you care about doing. For instance, don't try to exercise every day because you think you should. It won't be long before your motivation for doing that habit will die out and you'll be relying on willpower alone to get you through. That's not a great idea, okay? We only have so much willpower, so you want to find a way to build habits without relying on that willpower too much. If you choose, on the other hand, to walk your dog every day or to play outside with your kids and maybe chase them, okay, those habits might come with a lot more motivation for you personally than going to the gym. And yet, they happen to include some exercise. See how that works? So, find something that you're motivated to do. You'll need that motivation to keep you going, okay? Since habits can be an uphill battle until they become ingrained in your everyday life. Number 2 is regularity. The more often you do the habit, the stronger it will become. Each repetition enforces it as a behavior and strengthens the pathways in your brain related to it. Eventually, all that repetition makes the behavior automatic, something you do without thinking about it, which is when we call it a habit. Now, if you're only doing something once or twice a week, it's going to take a really long time for that behavior to develop into a habit. You're spending more of your week not doing it than doing it, and that's when it just takes way too long to see results and you just get burnt out. You get tired of trying, right? So to find a habit you can track every day or every weekday at least, the more you do it, the faster you'll develop it into a real habit. So the third thing, number 3, is achievability. If you aim to run 3 miles every day after not exercising for the last 2 years, you probably won't keep that up for too long. Try to keep on track with your new habit. Like, you need to choose something that's achievable, so you'll always feel that if you make the effort, you can do it. Okay? The last thing you want is the ability, like your ability to actually do it, getting in the way when you're really already battling willpower to get it done. So, if you need to choose something tiny to start with, go for it. Better a tiny habit that you can do every day than a huge one that you never complete, right? So, now you've started tracking, right? You've started this self-tracking, but what now? Now what? How to build these into solid habits. Before you start tracking your habits, let's talk about how you can build solid habits. That is, a behavior that becomes automatic so you do it without thinking. Here's how you're going to do that. Work on one habit at a time. Focusing on several new behaviors at once will mean you can't fully focus on any single one of them. Okay? You're making things much harder for yourself if you try to build multiple new habits at the same time. So, not only are you expecting too much from yourself at once, but your habits may end up competing for priority. Like, which one do I do first today? So, say you're working on a habit to go to the gym every morning, for instance, but you're also trying to get 8 hours of sleep every night. So what do you do when you have a late night or a baby waking up? You sleep in to get your 8 hours, or you go to the gym and lose sleep. So if you've already built the habit of going to the gym, there wouldn't be a question. You'd go to the gym without questioning yourself because it's a habit. Okay? When neither of your new behaviors are habits yet, they're going to end up competing for your attention and your willpower. So, this is where we come to stacking your habits. The best way to turn a behavior into a habit is to use a trigger to remind yourself to do it. For instance, if you're trying to build a habit of doing 20 push-ups every morning, you could use getting out of bed as your trigger, right? So every morning when you get out of bed, use that as a reminder to do your push-ups. If you want to do 50 squats a day, do 10 squats every time you use the bathroom. Your trigger needs to be something you always do anyways, okay? Getting up or going to bed, they work really, really well, okay? So do showering, brushing your teeth, or anything else you already do without thinking about it. In case you hadn't noticed, these are all habits that you've already built. So, you know what that means, right? As you build new habits, you create new triggers for yourself. So if you build the habit of 20 push-ups every morning, you can stack a new habit onto it. So maybe you want to do 20 sit-ups as well. Once you've built a stack of those two habits, you can add a third habit on. Maybe you want to spend some time reading every morning after exercising. So now you've got a stack of 3 habits. Okay? So each habit acts as a trigger to remind you to complete the next one until it becomes natural to do them all together. And that's when you know you can add something new to the stack, once it becomes natural to you. So here's the tricky part: how to debug your brain and build better habits. You do this by building time into your day. As I already said when we started, I know you're busy. You don't have time, right? But you have to build time into your day. If you complete your new habit at any time on any day, you won't get the advantage of familiarity that helps you get used to doing that behavior without thinking about it, okay? So to make your habits automatic faster, plan them into your day. This is important. Do them in the same way, in the same place, at the same time every day. You have just tricked your brain, ladies. You have just debugged it. So, do your push-ups on the floor next to your bed every morning, right after you get up, for instance. Or exercise at 9 a.m. every weekday at the gym after you drop your kids off at school. Okay? It's not a hard and fast rule, but in my experience, it helps to make a habit automatic much faster if your trigger and environment are always the same. So, here's where we come to, how do you keep track of this? How do you track these habits? Okay, so you've picked a habit to work on, and now you're ready to keep track. So you know how well you're keeping up with it, right? How do you go about that? Well, it depends on what works for you. If you're not sure, you have to try a few different methods to see what actually is going to work best. So, a few of my methods, a few methods that may work for you to try out is, number one, the paper method. The old trusted favorite, if you are a paper person, I'm a paper person. If you use a diary or a daily planner, try to make a note on each day of whether you completed your habit or not. If you like planner stickers, put a sticker on each day if you completed that habit, okay? If you do a regular weekly or monthly review, this is a great time to check back through your notes to see how you're progressing over time. You will also receive my bonus habit tracker in the email that you can use pretty colors and color in the little squares every time you do it. So much fun. If you are a paper gal, you're going to love this tracker. The second thing is a spreadsheet, okay? So if you're a spreadsheet lover, maybe you use some sort of spreadsheet program on your computer, you can set up a simple sheet to track whether you complete your habit each day. This is a good way to make sure you're tracking more visual so you can get an idea, okay, of a glance about how you're doing. So this way you can see in one spot how you're doing. You can also see that on the paper habit tracker that you're going to get. So it's a great visual and something to have on you. The third one, the last one, is mobile apps. Okay, so if you would rather track on your phone because your phone is always with you, if you want to try this too, I put together a list of habit tracking apps that will hit your email box soon. So make sure you check your emails. But my favorite app to start you off with is called Simple Habit. And you guys, this isn't all written in stone, okay? This is something that you have to figure out. You have to test, kind of trial and error, right? You need to find the methods of habit tracking that work best for you and use them to build a better self. I'm so glad you took the time to watch this video. Make sure you're checking your email inbox. It's going to come from she'sawarriorbertia@gmail.com for your habit tracker that you can print off and color in all the little spots. And you'll also get my list of apps. So I will see you soon. I'll hit your inbox with that. And make sure you join my community. She's a Warrior, the Village. Hop in there. Let us know what habits you're working on. I would love to hear about them. So hop in that group. Let us know what habits you're tracking. Extra accountability, extra support for you right there. So make sure you hop in there and let us know how it's going. I'll see you soon. Bye.